Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has declared that the negative roles played by the Nigerian Army during the 2019 general elections is the worst in the history of the country, saying that the Nigerian Army's political interference in the state is the most unfortunate infraction in the nation's democratic experience. Governor Wike formally requested for the redeployment of the general officer commanding GOC's division, Major General Jamil Sahem, for deliberately subverting the general elections in Rivers State. Governor Wike spoke on Friday when he granted audience to the Nigerian Army Committee on Electoral Violence during the 2019 at the Government House, Port Harcourt.
Throughout my experience politically, even under the military rule, even when the military is transiting, hand over to civilian government, I have never seen the military play the kind of role that they have played in this last election. I have never seen it throughout my political career. Even under the military, as a military government, transiting to the civilian government, the military have never played that kind of role. The military has always been involved in providing security. But in this case, that was not to be. This was pure political interference, directly. If time permits, we will also be able to show you some visuals for you to see whether they are fake military or fake army, as has been alleged. The fake army that will arrest people and take them to the division. Fake army will arrest people, take them to the division. We will show in the visuals, and we'll name the names of officers who were directly involved from one local government to the other. In fact, if you go to the 6th division, the bail, if not, maybe they may have cleared the evidence now. Ballot boxes, electoral materials. The takeoff is normally from the base. The takeoff from the base. Now let me say which one is that. Request the committee that appropriate sanction or discipline should be meted to the GOC. I have seen so many GOCs. Since we started having GOC, I think this is the third GOC, if I may recollect well. This is the third or fourth GOC. But this one came out to actively be involved. So partisan, and has no respect for constituted authority or civil authority at all. In fact, I will call that he has his own government in Rivers State. No respect to civil authority. This is one of the areas where people blame the military. And we think that it should be. And we seek for immediate redeployment of the GOC. Immediate redeployment of the GOC. There's no cordial relationship. He can't even fight crime for us in the state. How will he fight crime? When you cannot with government discuss, how can you fight crime? It's not possible. No state functions that you will invite him that he will come. Never. Even to the point of when we had the Armed Forces Remembrance Day, that I can tell you, I've never seen a neglect like that. Never showed up. The Armed Forces Remembrance, the emblem launch. So we would seek for his immediate deployment. You are leaving the GOC here, you are causing crisis in Rivers State more. Because there is a peculiar interest. He's here to help in taming crime and criminality, and not to play politics. I'm not interested in any GOC. What I'm interested in is somebody who will come and support to fight crime. If the kind of soldiers I saw that day, and we see them, there will be no one kidnapper. There will not one kidnapper we found. The role they played in this election, and they come out like that to fight crime. You will see how.
He said that elections took place across Rivers State in the polling units. He noted that aside Abua Udua local government area, Rivers people voted. The governor regretted that the challenges came during the collation when operatives of the Nigerian Army invaded collation centers to cut away from EC8C for the governorship election and from EC8B1 for the House of Assembly elections.
Election took place in Rivers State. Election took place in Rivers State. From the polling units, elections were conducted. The only local government where there was no election at all, no materials left the right center was Abua Udua local government. All the other local governments, elections took place. It was during the collation period, that was when the military came in. They would come in at the collation center and cut away materials or arrest the electoral officer or the returning officer and will mercilessly beat up the PDP agents. Will mercilessly, not just beating them, but mercilessly beat them and chase them away from the collation centers. So that, what I'm trying to say that election took place, the polling units, but during collation time, that's when they come. And they come with the military hillocks. You see them, they come with the military vans in all the collation centers and cut away, particularly EC from 8C. Particularly EC from 8C. EC from 8C is a form that used to declare the governor in every local government. That's EC from 8C. And then, in terms of House of Assembly, they will cut away EC from 8B1. EC from 8B1. That was what they were doing.
Governor Wike took time to enumerate the areas where the Nigerian Army unleashed violence and deaths on Rivers people. He also listed the names of Army personnel who led the operations.
Captain Inua was the one on the 23rd of February in Okrika. Captain Inua was the one who took away all the electoral materials. Captain Inua. Then this 9th of March, he was sent to Oyibo. That's Captain Inua. The person that led the attack on our chief Amanabo of Okochiri House is Captain Alibaba. Captain Alibaba. The one that led the attack in Opopo, Lieutenant Zango. In Buguma, Captain S.S. Balarabe. In Okrika, on this March 9, Captain A. Tela. Major Kaoje was one who led the attack in Akirema. Captain Mageri, M.M. Mageri, is the one that led the attack in Eba. The one who led to take over the INEC headquarters, Major M.D. Ahmed. M.D. Ahmed. He led the team that forced their way to INEC headquarters. Brigadier General Nengeti was one who led with the Minister of Transportation on the 23rd of February during the presidential and the assembly election to force the electoral officer to sign a result, which the woman refused. Brigadier General negated.
The governor regretted that the Nigerian army was relegated beyond comprehension as the GOC took orders from the Minister of Transportation on the deployment of soldiers to opposition leaders in the state.
Civilians can now command in giving orders to military, giving orders. You give this politician, give him 10 soldiers. Give this one 15 soldiers. Give this one 6 soldiers. What kind of system is that? To reduce our military, our army, that we have respect for, because of one man.
He noted that the situation became so bad that the Minister of Transportation had more than a platoon of soldiers attached to him each time he visited Rivers State to carry out his anti-democratic activities.
I have never seen the kind of, in fact, the respect I have. You see a politician carrying platoon of soldiers. It's unbelievable. Go to the airport. When the Minister of Transportation is coming back, go to the airport. Even Mr. President, I've never seen that level of soldiers. Even Mr. President, which is the CRC, I've never seen that level of soldiers. If I take you now off this NFC, go and see military vehicles in somebody's.
The governor stated that soldiers indiscriminately arrested and detained over 200 PDP leaders, agents, and supporters at Buri camp before, during, and after the 2019 governorship and state assembly elections.
All the people they arrested, he's there, the guys commanders here. I said, I won't come, I won't speak to any of them. Do whatever you want to do. If you want to kill them, kill them. But whatever we do, we will pay in future.
He said as a sitting governor, he has no soldiers attached to him, but ordinary opposition leaders have several soldiers attached to them for illegal activities during the elections.
If me as a sitting governor, you can't even believe that somebody who is supposed to be a candidate of a party, who is not even a candidate, go and see soldiers attached to him. And then look at me sitting as a sitting governor, not one soldier, not one.
Governor Wike said that the committee should ensure that it unravels all the illegal actions taken by the Nigerian army during the elections.
So we request that the right thing should be done and let this not be swept under the carpet. Let this not be swept under the carpet. If we don't do the right thing now, it will be worse in future.
He particularly decried the invasion of the home of the Rivers State Education Minister, the harassment of his family, and his subsequent arrest.
I will show you how the house of my Commissioner of Education was invaded. Even soldiers entering the kitchen. You know, have you watched, is it 90 minutes of raid of Entebbe? If you watch it, you will come closer to what happened in Entebbe. We will show it to you. So that some of this is when we say it, some people think, oh, they are exaggerating. They are doing this, they are not doing that. It's not correct.
Governor Wike informed the committee that in one of the post-election briefing at Buri camp, the GOC wondered why the soldiers failed to kill him.
That the GOC gave an order that I would have been shot. That nothing would happen. Then why was it that they did not shoot? This is said even during the briefing on Monday of the officers. During their normal briefing.
Also speaking, Rivers State Education Minister Dr. Tamno Sisigo Gujaja outlined the trauma he faced alongside his family during the invasion of his home by the Nigerian army.
By the time I stepped into the compound, I saw well over 30 soldiers. Well over 30 soldiers. And I saw my aides, my special assistant, my personal assistant, my brother-in-law, and the workmen, a medicine man, carpenter, that were working in my house, lying on the floor. When I came out, he ordered me to board a white tinted box. And I told him that I wouldn't move out of my house in a shot. And while we were having that conversation, I saw more soldiers stepping out of my house. They were ordering my wife out of the house. And I saw my little children, a 4-year-old and a 9-year-old, crying behind. It was the boy who a soldier pointed a gun at him and threatened to shoot at him while crying. In any case, I was ordered all the plea to enable me step in where my plot was revoked. Major Mustafa directly asked my wife to step in and gave me a trouser and a t-shirt to wear outside, and that was exactly what happened.
He explained how he was interrogated by the GOC at the 6th Division after his arrest. The commissioner shocked the committee when he informed that upon his release, he was driven home by the Rivers State Commander of Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad, Akin Fakorode.
At about 8:30, I was driven from the bus into the 6th Division headquarters, and I was conducted to a room. When I got into the room, I met with the GOC and another man who introduced himself as a commanding officer and a senior police officer who were ready to interrogate me. And as I sat down, they asked me to sit down. It was the GOC who asked me why I was brought there. And I was surprised. I simply asked him, I told him that I should be asking him that question. You brought me here. You sent soldiers to my house to bring me to this place. Why will you bring me here? I should be asking that question. Now, when I asked the question, he kept quiet. It was the senior police officer who said to me that, well, no need beating around the bush. We heard that you were holding, we got an intel that you were holding meetings with thoughts to cause havoc in the election, the forthcoming general election in the state.
Chairman of the Nigerian Army Investigative Committee on Electoral Violence, Major General Ayibakuro Gagariga, said the committee was established by the Chief of Army Staff to investigate allegations of misconduct against the Nigerian Army.
Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tanko Yusuf Tukuru Buratai, he, on the 26th of February 2019, convened a committee to investigate all allegations of the conduct of the Nigerian Army personnel. The Chief of Army Staff convened the committee, and one of the terms of reference was to interface with Your Excellency to hear, interact, and receive his own response to the allegations meted out to the Nigerian Army.
He noted that the committee would look into cases of alleged interference by the Nigerian Army during the general elections in Rivers State.
If you recall, Your Excellency, sir, an allegation was made that the Nigerian Army or 6th Division attempted to assassinate your person, sir. There were also cases of alleged interference by the Nigerian Army or military personnel in the electoral process specific to Rivers State. Most importantly, was an alleged Your Excellency, was the killing of Lieutenant Kurmi in Abonima. May his soul rest in perfect peace. And there were others who had already died in the course of the electoral violence.
High points of the meeting was the visual presentation of all locations of army invasion to the committee members. The governor also presented a pictorial overview of the interference of the Nigerian Army in the electoral process in the state.